Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, where we unpack the secrets hidden within corporate filings. And boy, do we have a juicy one today. Mercer Bancorp Incorporated is back with its September 2025 report, and let's just say for a community bank, they've been keeping things rather interesting. So grab your popcorn as we dive into the numbers that tell the real story behind their operations. And hey, before we get cracking, if you love getting these direct insights from financial documents, make sure you are subscribed. Also, we have a fantastic community building on Discord linked in the description below. Join us there for more discussions. Alright, let's get straight to the heart of the matter. For the year ending September 2025, Mercer Bancorp posted a net income of $972,305. That is a pretty solid jump up from $692,737 in 2024, an increase of over 40%, which is fantastic. Usually this kind of profit boost comes from a few key areas. And bingo, here it is, their net interest income. That is the bread and butter for any bank. It increased by a whopping $1.1 million to $6.8 million in 2025. Think of this part as the difference between how much money they make from lending out money and how much they pay out in interest on deposits. So they're making more on loans and paying out less, which is a winning combination. Their net interest margin also jumped from 3.49% to 4.01%. That is a healthy increase and shows they are becoming more efficient at turning their assets into profit. Now, what about the risks? Banks always have to set aside money for potential loan defaults, known as the provision for credit losses. For 2025, this provision was $66,000, a slight decrease from $68,000 in 2024. This suggests they are feeling pretty confident about the quality of their loans. However, it is worth noting that their non-performing loans, that is money they are owed, but are unlikely to collect, jumped significantly from $386,000 in 2024 to $1.3 million in 2025. This means while their overall provision is low, the riskier part of their portfolio is growing. On the expense side, their non-interest expenses increased by about $376,000 to $6 million in 2025. A big chunk of that increase went towards salaries and employee benefits, up by $189,000. This is often a sign of investment in their workforce or maybe higher costs due to inflation. They also spent more on data processing, an increase of over 32%, which they attribute to a new core data processing service. This could be a good thing for customer experience, but it certainly adds to their costs. Looking at the balance sheet, their total assets decreased slightly by 3.1% to $176.2 million in 2025. This decrease was mainly due to a drop in their loans and loans held for sale. It seems they might be strategically reducing their loan exposure, or perhaps repayments are just outpacing new loan originations. On the flip side, their deposits saw a nice increase of 7% to $144 million, showing that customers are still trusting them with their money. Now let's see what Mercer Bancorp's plan is going forward. They want to keep focusing on residential mortgages and agricultural real estate loans, which are their bread and butter. They also talk about growing and diversifying their loan portfolio by expanding their indirect automobile lending program. This sounds like a smart move to balance risk and yield. Adding a new branch in Bern, Indiana in 2025 is also a strategic play to expand their reach and attract more deposits. Now, for a key takeaway when it comes to lending safety, scroll down to the table for the allowance for credit losses on loans. At the 30th of September 2025, the total allowance for credit losses was $960,307. This represents about 0.67% of their total loans. This number is important because it shows how much cushion they have against potential loan losses. While it has increased slightly from 2024, it remains relatively low. However, their non-performing loans have also increased, so it is a bit of a mixed signal. Their market area is primarily rural, with a number of smaller population centers. The local economy consists largely of agricultural activities, with a cross-section of other economic sectors, including healthcare services, manufacturing, construction, and transportation. They've also expanded their geographic footprint and established a 5th branch office during 2025 in Bern Adams County in eastern Indiana. They believe this branch location will expand their access to customers and core deposits in that part of their market area. Let's look at the non-performing loans specifically. The table here shows non-performing loans at the 30th of September 2025 were $1.3 million, which is about 0.94% of total loans. That is up from $359,260 or 0.26% in 2024. The increase is significant and could indicate some borrowers are struggling to repay their loans. Finally, a look at how the stock has been performing. For the quarter ending the 30th of September 2025, the stock high was $15.50 and the low was $14.60, up from the previous year. It shows some positive movement, but it is important to remember this is just one piece of the company's overall financial health. So what is the takeaway here? Mercer Bancorp seems to be navigating a changing economic landscape pretty well. Their net interest income is strong and they are growing their deposit base. However, the rise in non-performing loans and increasing expenses are definitely worth keeping an eye on. It shows they are proactive in expanding and investing in their business, which is good, but it also means they are taking on more risk. It is a balancing act and we'll be watching to see how they manage it moving forward. Alright, that is our deep dive into Mercer Bancorp's September 2025 filing. What are your thoughts on their financial performance and strategic moves? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more corporate financial analysis. And don't forget to join our growing community on Discord, linked in the description. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next episode of Corporate Decoder.